do you think it's important to think beyond just P&L? And if so, how should traders think about their worth as a trader beyond just P&L?
This is the question right here. I mean, I feel like if you could get the platform to just focus on this question alone from like the best traders out there and even the worst traders out there, from everybody. Forget about rankings and forget about all that kind of stuff. Just ask every single trader. That would be the best. That would probably be one of the best, podcasts or something like that that you could tune into, because everybody's way of finding the answer to that, that's kind of that's the answer you're more or less looking for. You know what I mean? So my answer to this, to this question is that the further you can get away from it, the happier you will be, as a trader, the happier lifestyle you will be as a trader, right? Because if you look at the other extreme of it, where you look at the person who says, okay, my net worth is my value, right? My P&L is my value. You look at that person and what they have to deal with mentally, and we've all been there as well. That's a big it's a big burden that you're walking around with all the time. And I'm not talking about like from a trading perspective. I'm just talking about in life. It will have you confused. It'll have you being a complete hypocrite out there. It will have you, unable to interact and communicate with a lot of people. There'll be a lot of consequences that you have with that particular burden on your shoulders, and walking around with that burden on your shoulders in life. That will have a lot of consequences on your relationships, the way that you live, the choices that you make, the decisions you make, who you choose to be around you. You know, you there's going to be a lot of losses, and it's not in the form of P&L per se. It's in the form of other things. Maybe your family, most importantly, your family, and some of the best relationships, some of the most important relationships that you should take care of. You know what I mean? And again, at the end of the day, a human being can make whatever choice they freaking want to. There's no right or wrong here. However, there's this sort of idea of the least amount of suffering possible. You know what I mean? And the least amount of drama and all this kind of stuff. So if you look at the extremes of it, then you can kind of start to figure out what the middle picture is, right? The person who doesn't care about it at all, they wouldn't be trading in the first fucking place, man. They wouldn't be They wouldn't be a trader anyway. If you don't look at money at all, you wouldn't even find the value of doing it, because the value of doing it goes against your beliefs and practices in the first freaking place. You know what I mean? It's not even in your code. It's not even in your body to even come up with that an example. It's like an astute vegan eating meat. You know what I mean? All of a sudden deciding to eat meat, it just wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't do it. Because it's not part of their belief system, right? So those are your extremes right there. And then somewhere in the middle, you may have a group of guys. You may or may not have a group of guys, because I haven't seen too many people who operate in the middle. I'll tell you, the people that I've met, though, the traders that I've met, you know where they are? They're in Puerto Rico. They're in Puerto Rico. The ones that I have met who are right there in the middle, where they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about it, but they understand the choice, the power, the convenience, or whatever that comes along with it, and they've developed a way of thinking where they realize, like, okay, I have my system. I know how to extract X, Y, and Z dollars. I don't care how much I have. It's just numbers at the end of the day. If I make X, Y, and Z, I can go do something extra. I can choose something else. And I'm only going to come to the market when my opportunity permits. I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to define myself with my P&L. None of that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to act like I'm somebody who I'm not. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. So those are the people that I found in the middle. And by the way, those people are extremely successful in trading, because they trade like 2, 3, 4 times out the year. And the rest of the time, they ain't doing shit, but they're doing everything, right? You're not working per se, but you're doing all the things that make you happy. Whether it might be tons of traveling, it might be just spending time with family, it might be playing a lot of sports, it might be freaking sitting on a jet ski for 3 hours. Those are the kind of people that I'm talking about. And I've only met them here in Puerto Rico.